In this guide, I'll show you how to begin with the Gravitino Coil gun, how waste salvaging works in the Remnant update, and how to turn all that junk into nanites. We'll go step by step, from unlocking the tech to collecting and processing waste. Alright, to get this started we need to go to the anomaly. I am playing in creative. This is just to make it easier for me to get the resources and everything without having to go and grind for them. If you're playing on normal or any other mode that is not creative, you will have to of course collect the necessary resources. Let's go to the back of the anomaly and find the blueprint vendors. And we only really need these two guys here. First we need to talk to Eos. He is the multi-tool research vendor. And what you will have to go and unlock is this one here, the Gravitino Coil. Take note, this is already unlocked for me as I am in creative mode. Either way, this is the one you will need to unlock and install on your multi-tool. So go into your multi-tool, select the Gravitino Coil from the available blueprints and install it. Now we need to talk to Persis, which is the exocraft vendor. And we're going to purchase 2 more blueprints. One blueprint will be the Cyclops scope and the other one will be the excavation blade. The excavation blade is a Colossus dedicated blueprint, but the Cyclops scope is for all the exocrafts. The Cyclops scope is going to allow you to use your analyst visor directly from inside your craft without having to get out. With that unlocked, we can get started. You can see on the bottom of the screen a new mission showed up. Industrial cleanup. Test the Gravitino Coil at the waste processing plant. Reach the Mark facility. So this mission is going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to use the gun, the waste facility and so on. Now we already are in a system that seems to have a waste facility on the planet, but I'll explain to you what you need to look for whenever this mission is over. So this planet, as you can see, has salvageable scrap, which indicates waste can be found there. If you would check this planet for example, this one does not have any salvageable scrap, which means you will not find any waste on this planet. So by scanning the planet, you should be able to find which one has the waste to collect. Now we already have the waste processing plant marked. Normally outside of this mission, you will have to scan on the planet's surface to find it. Anyway, let's just fly and do the mission right now. The marker will be an approximate location. You will need target sweep to find it, but if you already know what you're looking for, we know it will be this complex of buildings. So let me just bring my ship to a stop and hop out. At the facility, the first mission is to test the Gravitino Coil. The first thing we need to do is find the industrial waste, and we can use for that our analysis visor. And with it you can see the green icons. These are industrial waste. You can see them all around here and there's even more there at the end. Alright, once you've done that, you will now get the mission to test your gun. Normally the goal is to throw them in here, but I would advise you not to do that until the mission requests it. Alright, so the first mission is to repel scrap. So aim your Gravitino gun to some waste and follow the controls on the screen. For me that is the R2 on the controller. This will push away the scrap. The next step is to magnetize the waste, and that is going to pull it into the gravity well of your multi-tool. On controller that is done with L1, and then you can use L1 again to drop it. Or you can pick it up with L1 and then repel it by using R2 like that. And we need to do this 3 times to complete this mission. So now it says aim and launch it into the processor with R2, and that's all we need to do, just once. The next step in this mission is to build a colossus. So open up your building menu, select the colossus bay from it. In case you have not unlocked this yet, you either have to still follow the beginner questline, or you can purchase the blueprint from the construction terminal in the anomaly. Once the bay is built, we need to open the exocraft modification. This screen is to call it in, this one is to modify it. Go to the chassis and we will select the flatbed module. That is going to allow us to drop items inside of the Colossus. You can also change the wheels if you wish. There are different kinds of wheels available and more to unlock. This one here is from the Remnant expedition, which are legs that walk around. They are a little bit janky for now, so you might want to wait until there is some fix coming in. You can change the paint as well for more personality, and there's even some weathered finish or camouflage finish. The camouflage is a reward of the Remnant expedition, while the weathered finish seems to be one that you get by completing the tutorial mission. There are of course more options in colors and decals, but that is all cosmetic. You can also go to the config tab, which will allow you to save the version in one of the slots. Just select store and give it a name, and now every time you do any changes, you can always revert back to the flatbed version if you need it. So with all that done, let's jump in and drive it over the platform. We can now install the Exocraft radar to detect industrial waste, which you can do by installing it as another type of technology. This is the one we need. And that's the only thing we need to do for now. The next step we need to do is collect 15 parts of industrial waste. There's a lot of them laying around here, so we're just gonna take it and shoot it towards the waste processor. If I'm any good, I can even shoot it inside straight away. But these wheels are pretty heavy, so let us just throw them closer by for now, and then we just put them in the collector later. It is possible to just drop them all into your flatbed and then drive them over, but for the moment we're just gonna throw them in that direction. We'll be short of them anyway, so we'll find some later on. And now we're just gonna push them inside the disposal unit until we're out of waste. I got 14 out of 15, which means I need to find some more, at least one. I can see there is some industrial waste there at 305 U. There is some at 206 U. So let's jump into our craft and go and get it. Okay, we got some... what's this? This looks like radioactive. So this is gonna go into a different disposal at the base. Let's just drop it into our flatbed for now, and then we'll pick up the rest of the waste and store it all onto my flatbed. Alright, so I got a whole bunch of scrap now into my truck. You can see I got 9 pieces stored according to the mission message. We're gonna be driving very carefully back home. And I say carefully because if you're bumping or hitting something, your waste will be jumping out of the loading platform. So you want to make sure that you drive gently, especially when you're driving with high-end waste. Now let me just drive into the collection zone here, because there's a terminal here that you can interact with. And this is going to give you the option to auto-collect. But auto-collect will cost you, as someone is sorting the trash for you. So in total you will gain 90 nanites. But if you're doing this manually instead, you will get more nanites out of it. Before we do any math, let me just see if I can find my radioactive waste. This one right here. If I'm gonna drop it into the radioactive waste disposal, this alone will give me 20 nanites, and it might also give me some extra resources. Now, while the Exocraft is still parked in the collection zone, there is another option to activate the auto-collect. If you're sitting in your colossus and you honk twice, the plant control panel will automatically open, so you don't even need to get out. But you can see the current waste is worth 18 nanites with auto-collect. If I would do this manually, I will get more. So let us check how many nanites I have right now. 961. So 80 on top of that is 1041. So let's compare that now with manual dumping. Let me move the truck a little bit closer to the disposal. We'll dump the waste on the ground by just pressing the button right here on the back, and we'll shoot it in manually. Alright, that's it. If we look now, I got 1081 nanites, so I earned 120 nanites instead. That's a big difference. I also got some scrap metal that can be refined in ferrite dust, which is a little bit of extra. Alright, let us jump into our colossus. We're gonna open up our scanner and we're gonna look for waste heaps. This should trigger a location for a waste heap, which is located right there. It is 5 minutes away. Now if you don't want to drive there, you can just jump in your ship, fly there, and then summon your exocraft at the spot. But once you have waste in your flatbed, it is not possible to do the same. You will have to drive back. Now, a 5-minute drive is quite a long drive. So for people that don't have the patience for it, this is probably going to be a terrible update. Alright, let's call our exocraft. As you can see in the mission window, I need to process 5 high value waste. Now there's several ones here. For example, this one is toxic, which is high value. This one here is explosive, another high value. And this one here is radioactive, which is high value as well. The rest is just basic industrial waste. So for now, we just want to focus on the high value waste first. And we're going to drop them inside the truck. Now, take into account that these right here are explosive materials. That means if they get damaged too much, either by bumping up and down on the flatbed or falling off too many times, they will explode. So be careful during your travel back home that you don't damage them too much. So my truck is now full of waste. And you can see everything is loose and shaky. So we have to be careful how we drive. This will be a 5-minute drive to the waste facility, and the road is definitely not going to be helping. So watch out for any dips or bumps in the road. Some hazardous plants can also cause issues if you're not careful. Now, I don't want to waste your 5 minutes, so I'm just going to drive this to the waste disposal and then we can continue from there. If anything happens, I can show you on the video. Alright, we have arrived. I didn't lose anything, which is nice, but there were definitely some rough patches. So now what I'm going to do right now, we're going to park here and we're going to just take 4 of the high value waste and place them directly in the correct disposal. So the explosive goes right here, which will give me nanites and sometimes will give me resources. Then we have some toxic waste, which will go in this one. As you can see, it has the same symbol. This one gave me 25 nanites and some ammonia. And then we're looking for some radioactive waste, which is here. This one goes in here. Apart from nanites, it also gave me some uranium. And we need one more. This is just regular scrap, so let's just leave it back into the flatbed. Let's take another explosive, and that should be number 5. There we go. And that should complete the mission, I think. Okay, with that done, and with the truck still in the collection zone, I can just honk twice. It's going to tell me that the value is 130 nanites. I can request to auto-collect. That is all going to be taken out of my flatbed. I definitely lost some great value here, but on the other hand, it is very easy. If you open up your mission log under Industrial Cleanup, you can check what you have earned in total so far, how much of each waste type you have collected and recovered, and each of these can give you rewards depending on how many you have done. Some of them will be titles, and I assume others will give you like different colossus parts and wheels. Now let's talk about another technology upgrade for the X-Craft, 2 of them. So we have the excavator blade and also the Cyclops scope. And the Cyclops scope is going to allow you to actually start scanning without getting out of your exocraft. So you don't even need to step out. And the excavator blade on the bottom right here, this is going to give you a percentage of the resources you have destroyed while driving over it. So if you drive over those trees in the distance, you will see you will get some carbon. If I drive over the rocks here, you can see I get some ferrite dust. So it's an easy way to get some extra resources while you're driving, because in the past they would just be lost. Now it is possible to use the coil gun for more than waste. You can use them to grab sentinels, you can push them away. They will seem a little bit immobilized for a short time after you grab them. You can also use them to activate some other blocks that are loose. For example, in the ancient ruins you can move the metal spheres there, and I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that people have not tried yet. I need to check if you can actually use them on the sphere generator as well. Now, I would say definitely check out the expedition. While it might not be for everyone, I do think that the rewards are pretty cool. There's a nice looking armor set, which looks very cool in my opinion, and there are some extra parts to unlock for the Colossus as well. Also, if you want to watch me stream or you lost track of where I'm at streaming, remember that it is now happening on my second channel. I will drop a link in the description for the people interested. And that in a nutshell is the Remnant update. Hopefully this gave you a bit of an idea how to start it and how to run it. Thanks for watching and for spending a bit of your time here with me. and I'll see you in the next video. Beeblebum out.